Hey everybody. So I'm a bit late due to unavoidable task I had. So I see everything is fine and all right. And today we are going to talk about antibiotics, vaccine, and fertilizer. We will exactly know how these things are and how do they work beside its classification. So let's start. Meanwhile, you can invite your fellows. You can also share this live broadcast to WhatsApp group. So here we go. We have antibiotics. So antibiotics. Antibiotics are, as we simply say, so they are a range of antimicrobial. You should also write these things in the comment box so that you own it. Then you remember it easily because you practice it. So there are a range of antimicrobial medication, or you can also say medicine, that act against bacterial infections, right? So this is the simple definition of antibiotics. ये एंटीमाइक्रोबियल मेडिसिन है, ठीक है, जो बैक्टीरियल डिजीज के खिलाफ काम करते हैं. ठीक हो गया. And I hope that I'm audible and the screen is visible. I'll be talking, to the point. Okay. Now coming to classification of antibiotics. So on this basis, we have mainly two types. One is bacterostate, and bacterostate, it mainly works to inhibit or stop the growth of microorganisms or microbes. For example, erythromycin, you know very well about it. Erythromycin, tetracycline, linomycin, and so many other examples are present in today's era. Next class is bactericidal. So its name suggests that it totally or completely kill harmful microbes, right? For example, penicillin, And let me tell you, penicillin was one of the original and the precursor of the antibiotics. Okay. Similarly, we can also talk about streptomycin, streptomycin, ampicillin, and so many other examples are there. So this class or this type which inhibit the growth of the bacteria or microorganism, while this one that completely kill harmful microbes like penicillin. All right, so now we are going to discuss about the function of antibiotics. So how do it works, right? So we say either by killing, slowing, or suspending the growth of बैक्टीरिया. ठीक हो गया, या मुकम्मल खत्म करते हैं, या उसको स्लो करते हैं, या उसको सस्पेंड करते हैं बाय कौन सी तरीकों से? तकरीबन 3 तरीकों से ये चीजें होती है, या किल करते हैं, या स्लो करते हैं, या सस्पेंड करते हैं. बाय अटैकिंग the wall. Keep in mind, you must write these things so that they become the part of your personalities. Are coating surrounding बैक्टीरिया. जो बैक्टीरिया की ये कोटिंग या जो वॉल उस पर अटैक करते हैं. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, इट कैन बी interfering with bacteria reproduction. उसकी जो रिप्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस होती है उसको उसमें इंटरवेन करते हैं by disturbing the whole process, or it can be blocking protein productions in bacteria. और जब ये मतलब प्रोटीन खत्म हो जाए तो फिर सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता. ठीक हो गया. अच्छा, now how they are manufactured. So let us know that how they are manufactured. So historically, if we say historically, it was, fungus. The scientist community had taken a kind of fungus, and after that they experimented from fermentation process. So it is a kind of process, right? Anaerobic chemical reaction. It is an anaerobic chemical reaction using microorganism or enzyme. ठीक हो गया. फंगस को लिया उन लोगों ने, ठीक है, उसको पेरिमेंट कर दिया. जो fermentation प्रोसेस से निकले हैं और ये क्या, ये ऑक्सीजन के बगैर माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म को यूटिलाइज करके या इंसान को यूटिलाइज करके आगे प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं, ठीक है। इसको हम fermentation कहते हैं। And resultantly they got penicillin in large quantities. So that is the manufacturing process. In today's, the case is not different, okay? Rather, a series of chemical reaction conducted to prepare what? A series, let me write it, a series of chemical reactions conducted just like this one to prepare what? Antibiotics. I hope you are getting. That's what we know about the manufacturing process of antibiotics. Okay, another famous concept about these antibiotics, that is antibiotics. You must know these things, right? Antibiotic resistance. What is antibiotic resistance? So it can be asked in the exam. Okay, when bacteria can no longer be controlled or killed by certain antibiotics due to either overdoses or bacteria evolution, I mean changes, then that effect is called antibiotic resistance. जब ओवरडोजेस के होने की वजह से एंटीबायोटिक्स के या बैक्टीरिया ऐसा भी वेरिएशन आती है ना, ये जो कोविड-19 के केस में फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड वेव, ठीक है। अब ये वो तो मतलब माइक्रोब्स हैं ना, ठीक है, तो ये वेरी करते हैं दोनों वजूहात की वजह से, या ओवरडोजेस या बैक्टीरियल इवोल्यूशन होने की वजह से। जब antibiotics are no more effective to control or kill, so then this effect is called antibiotic resistance. I hope you understand. Common side effect like gastrointestinal upset such as diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, cramps, upset stomach, rashness, etc. These are the common side effects, particularly coming from overdoses of antibiotics. Now come to vaccine. So vaccine are biological suspension just like a syrup, you know, commonly, or either killed, attenuated, or fragmented microbes, either bacteria or virus, that administered primarily to fight specific infections or diseases, specific infection or disease by stimulating what? the formation of antibodies. Point to be noted. या तो ये weakened, attenuated mean weakened, या उसके कुछ हिस्से लेते हैं या completely killed solution बनाते हैं biologically और उसको आगे जाके स्पेसिफिक डिजीज के लिए डिजाइन करते हैं जो आगे जाके इम्यूनिटी को इन्हांस करती है विद इन द बॉडी बाय फॉर्मेशन ऑफ एंटीबॉडीज। अब एंटीबॉडीज क्या चीज है? इफ यू नो you should write it. So antibodies, it is also known as immunoglobulin, which works in immunity against foreign material. So technically we say these are antibodies. I mean antibodies are blood serum protective protein. They are blood serum protective protein produced by immunity system in response to foreign materials or substances. ठीक हो गया? That is about antibiotics. Now how they do work? How do they work? So it works in two ways. One, destroying germs that enter the body and ultimately help to get the body well. ठीक हो गया? Number second, protect you from infections. Why? Particularly, let me write it, protect you from future infections as it remains in bloodstream for years. चूंकि ये ब्लड स्ट्रीम में ज़्यादा वक्त के लिए खासकर सालों पर ये वहाँ एग्जिस्ट करते हैं तो इस वजह से ये फ्यूचर में भी काम करते हैं. To encounter, if they encounter such infection or germs, infection form caused by those germs which enter the body. ठीक हो गया? ये तो इसके फंक्शन के बारे में हमने बात की. Now coming to classification, मैं to the point बात करता हूँ. ठीक है? ये भी की नहीं. There are primarily two main classes. One is whole agent and next that is subunit. Whole main agent is also known as non virulent microbes, right? And this is also known as part or product of microorganism, product of microorganism। देखो यहाँ ये तो नॉन वायरस जिसको हम कहते हैं, जो वायरस नहीं है बल्कि या तो किल है, लेकिन यहाँ जो है ना, या उसकी कुछ फ्रेगमेंटेड पार्ट ली गई है या उसके प्रोडक्ट है। ठीक हो गया, ये दो क्लासेस है इसके। आगे अगर हम इसकी बात करें तो इसको हम आसान अल्फाज में ये भी कह सकते, इट इज इनएक्टिवेटेड or kill type of vaccine, while this one it is attenuated or weakened class of vaccine. I hope you are getting if you are here. But I know you are not here. Its adverse effect or side effect. Commonly, it is reported that low-grade fever, acne, soreness when injected. So these adverse effects are reported, but it is the reflection of setting up immunity of the body by taking notice of the vaccine. ये चीज़ें मतलब जो ख्वाहिश और ये मतलब जो जिस जगह पे वैक्सीनेट करते हैं उसको मतलब थोड़ा सा पेड़ हो जाते हैं, इस तरह कुछ आम सी साइड इफेक्ट ये रिपोर्ट की गई है। लेकिन ये इट इज़ रिपोर्ट आल्सो सेड दैट इट इज़ द रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ सिटिंग अप। जब वैक्सीन हो जाए तो बॉडी को बॉडी जो है ना उसको नोटिस करते हैं कि कुछ पॉजिटिव चेंजेस आते हैं, ठीक है, टू इन्हांस द इम्यूनिटी ऑफ द बॉडी। ठीक हो गया, ओके। नाउ we are going to disclose another topic, that is fertilizer. So they are either organic or inorganic. It can be organic or inorganic. It can be natural or synthetic chemical substances, and the function of it to supplied, it is supplied to soil in order to enhance their productivity, beside to increase crop yield. As they contain essential nutrients required by plants, including nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. ये तीनों चीजें जो है नाइट्रोजन, फास्फोरस एंड कैल्शियम, they are major part of fertilizer, major parts of fertilizers, and essential nutrients required by plants and soil in order to enhance fertility of the soil and increase crop yield. It can be primary, which is also known as macronutrient, macro fertilizer, including nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and it mainly works for the growth of plants. Another kind that is secondary, which is also known as micro, and it includes calcium, magnesium, sulfur, and some trace amount of iron, boron, and zinc. If we classified fertilizer, so there could be three major categories. All right. So it can be natural, it can be nitrogenous, it can be phosphorus, right? So natural, as it is known, it can be from plant matter, farmyard, and particularly from livestock manure. Similarly, if we talk about nitrogenous fertilizer, so its name also suggests it is inorganic, like uh, ammonium nitrate, ammonium nitrate, or sulfate, or ammonium sulfate, you can say. Similarly, phosphorus rich substances, including calcium, calcium super phosphate, or it can be calcium dihydrogen phosphate. So these are the major classes of fertilizer on the basis of source. As we discussed in the definition, they are for the purpose introduced into the soil to enhance its fertility besides the growth of the plant, but in some cases side effects are also reported, like disturbing the pH of soil. pH means acidity, the scale of acidity and basicity, whether it is more basic or more acidic. That is another talk, but इसको हम इसकी वजह से जब और ज़्यादा मतलब या ओवरडोज करते हैं तो पीएच को डिस्टर्ब करते हैं सॉइल के, और इसी वजह से फिर जो है ना प्रोडक्टिविटी नहीं होती, ठीक है, यील्ड कम होता है और इसके साथ साथ प्लांट्स डैमेज होते हैं. Similarly, decrease microbial activity for long term. It also decreases microbial activity for long term. Similarly, another important concept which also the cause of overdoses of fertilizer, and that is eutrophication. And this concept this topic has been asked in CSS 2020 first examination in environmental science paper. Okay, causes of eutrophication. Okay, so one of the causes of eutrophication is the overuses of fertilizer, and eutrophication occurs due to, in this sense, due to excessive use of fertilizers via leaching process in waters, rivers, oceans, seas, streams, in waters. Leaching process is the lack of water solubility, plants water solubility. That is the process. Similarly, it also decreases fertility of the land. These are some of the common adverse effects of fertilizer that has been reported. The mild uses of fertilizer are productive, that it enhances crop yield and increase productivity. So that is these were the topics we have discussed today in more technical way, and I don't see any person who are alive. No matter, you will know.